Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My wife Sarah and I just returned home after spending almost 2 weeks in Newfoundland for the second time. The first time we visited, we were towing our hippie hangout 1972 Golden Falcon trailer, which was a real blast. However, since this trip was more business than pleasure, we drove our 2025 Ioniq 5 electric vehicle. And we even brought our little dog, McGee. He likes to come whenever we go anywhere. He really doesn't like being left out. After our first visit, upon shortly arriving home, I was diagnosed with rectal cancer. That was a real bummer. Although I have been in remission for almost 7 years now, I am no longer that healthy and didn't feel that well for much of the visit. That too was a bummer. Sarah had been hoping to see an enormous iceberg, which often happens because they tend to go aground this time of year. As we made our way to St. John's, someone told us one had gone aground in Dildo. Yeah, that's right, Dildo. Quite the name. However, when we arrived at that quaint little town, it had either melted or moved on. However, she did see one at the top of Signal Hill at the Battery in St. John's, but it was so far away it just looked like a little white dot on a dark blue sea. However, while staying at Seaglow, an Airbnb in Glovertown, which I highly recommend, we heard one had grounded out at Salvage on the Eastport Peninsula, which was a short distance away. Needless to say, we immediately jumped in the car and drove there. The iceberg wasn't as big as we had hoped and was on the verge of breaking apart and floating away. However, just the same, it was still a remarkable chunk of ice to behold. Since we were in no rush to leave and the rain had finally let up, I decided to create a plein air work of art. I would have preferred a nice warm sunny day, and although the weather was very dismal and a little foggy, the wind did create some wonderful large waves breaking against the rocks and the iceberg. Sadly, as much as I would like to return to Newfoundland again, because it's one of my favorite places, it's not very likely. However, saying that, I really have a lot of fond memories, like getting screeched in and kissing the cod while everybody in the bar cheered, viewing the rugged landscape as the wind tugged at my long hair, and meeting many friendly Newfies wherever we went. Cheers, eh?